So we were able to pretty much discover that the iPhone 11, 10R, iPhone 12 mini, and iPhone 13 mini pretty much weren't able to show our battery percentage on the top left corner anymore, which was so strange. Phones like the iPhone 10 could have supported this. So it makes me really uncertain about the future of these two iPhones in particular, especially the 13 mini and 12 mini, which I'll talk about in a different video. When I look at these iPhones, right, even with the iPhone 11, when I looked at every single iteration of iPhones that didn't get this small feature, it was very interesting that it was all the cheapest models available. Now, as of right now, Apple still hasn't really said any reason why these iPhones couldn't support it. Some people were estimating it was probably because of possibly the pixels. If we went ahead and bought an iPhone that like an iPhone 11, the pixels per inch, aka the resolution, isn't as high as something like an iPhone 10, for example. So that kind of makes a little bit of sense, but then that doesn't really make too much sense for a mini type of iPhone. So that's why that just doesn't even make too much sense in my opinion. And even phones with low resolution displays from years and years ago, they could also show the battery percentage on the top right corner. But also, when you look at things like the SOS that we now see, this little moon icon, the time. I mean, if we can display those things, why can't we display the battery? That also doesn't make too much sense. So I say that to say it kind of starts with this kind of stuff. It starts with the battery percentage not showing up at the top right corner. We've seen this time and time again from Apple. When they went ahead and, for example, with iOS 15, actually stemming back from iOS 12, the iPhone 5S and iPhone 6 didn't get group FaceTime on those specific devices, and very shortly after they got unsupported with software, and the iPhone 6 got a very short lifespan. With the iOS 15 update, the iPhone 10s didn't get live text and a lot of other features like that. And now with iOS 16, so many iPhones are being limited with so many features, which is so crazy. So I do think there is a time where Apple may end up coming back and say, oh, we'll give this phone the battery percentage, whatever, right? But then it's like, why did they do this in the first place? And I said this in another video. Why did they feel the need to reduce and just remove that feature in the first place? It makes absolutely no sense. It just doesn't make sense to me still. It's been like 3 days. Now, another thing I want to say is, what are the chances that Apple is going to be continuing this with other features coming out in the future? I keep thinking of a really massive feature Apple could bring, something like split screen multitasking, and it would make a lot of sense for Apple in that case, where they could just go ahead and say, you have to have the M1 chipset in order to utilize something like this. And if an M chipset ever comes out to an iPhone, they could probably just leverage that new chipset and just say, hey, you need to have an M2 iPhone in order to use it. They did the same thing with iPads, like with the iPad Air and iPad Pro. So I feel like something like that could happen in the future as well, where they're just limiting features. And I don't understand why they're doing this. I understand why they're doing it from a business perspective, but it's just so obvious and it's just so sloppy and slimy that it just makes Apple and just puts them in a really weird spot. Why they're purposely limiting these features. Phones are going to age regardless. People are going to upgrade their phones. We don't really have to go and have these random features stripped from us in order to update. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about this. It's been a few days and I'm still kind of heated about it. Let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.